Good morning. Good morning. It's so good to be here. It is 11 o'clock in Tallahassee, Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and that, of course, will be changing very shortly. In fact, it'll be changing the weekend of Halloween. I am, again, always blessed and grateful and thankful that I can be here with you. Well, today we're going to talk about Mercury retrograde. But before we do that, I want to just give you astrological updates of what's happening right now. So we have the sun in Libra, and Libra is about balance. And so glad you're here. I've got you down for a card. Thank you so much. It is this sign of justice and fairness and relationships and balance. Most of all, balance. Today, the sun is square Jupiter, and this aspect allows us to receive information if we choose to listen to it. That can be very, very helpful. Catherine, I got you for a card today. Yay. And that's the point. Listening to what is happening around us. Vanetta, I got you. I've got my 3 people. That's so great. Good morning. Good morning, Wendy. Wendy, you came in at the same time as Vanetta, so I'm adding you in here. Wendy Watkins. Okay. It'll be 4 cards today, but that's perfectly okay because sometimes it's hard for me to be doing this and then paying attention to as people come in. So I'd much rather say, let's add another person. It's much more fun anyway. So here we go. So the sun square Jupiter is all about, good morning, Kelly. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. Kelly and I are going to be talking on her group page, which is Women and Wellness. And I'm going to be there at 12:30 this afternoon. So if you are not a member of Women and Wellness, Kelly, please post the page and the group name so that if people are not a member but they want to join in, they can do that just by requesting to join the page. And Kelly is on top of that, so you can be right in there right away. Hey, Leslie. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much. So with that, and would you believe that the word that just came to me, need, that means we really do want that balance, that wonderful balance that's going to allow us to ease through this difficult time. And Jupiter squaring the sun is now giving us that opportunity to find that balance. The message is going to be there. You can find it, take care of, do what you need to do, listen to the messages, because also the Leo moon is square Uranus, which is also square Mercury and Scorpio. So we have Leo, Taurus, Scorpio. That actually involves even a bigger aspect because it gives us a T-square. It gives us, Uranus and Mercury are opposite each other, 180 degrees, and then we add in that 90-degree angle. So we really get that. This is a lot going on right now. Again, about the messages. Again, a focus on security and money because Taurus rules the 2nd house, so that may be on your mind. But the Leo moon is positive and loving and joyful. So whatever is going around you, it's whatever's going around you. Hold on to that joy. Focus on that joy because the moon is sustaining that. The moon is giving you that energy. Yes, Uranus is involved. Yes, a Scorpio Mercury is involved, so we know that messages are coming to us. It's about being discerning on what those are and what we choose to listen to. Because if we're in our good space, which is a great way to start our day with either meditation first or the positive affirmations or whatever way it is, walking in nature, whatever way it is that you can get your morning started right and in that good place, the other stuff around you is not as impactful as it would be if you're already starting out already hyper about what's going on and highly motivated about, oh my God, I've got to get this, and this done. And then the stress level rises. So this really offers us that chance. Again, it is a joyful day. The messages will come to you if you choose to listen. We're always getting those messages, and they will come from, who knows, someone close by, some text or email that comes to you that you hadn't expected, and it can be a message of something that you've been thinking about. That's what happened to me today on my walk. I listened to Abraham Hicks while I'm on my walk, and one of the episodes had to do with something that I had been thinking about, and it was actually talking about what you allow to come into yourself through not just media in terms of Facebook and social media, that type of thing, and the news, but also any other programs that you watch. Those types of things that can lower your energy. And I started thinking about, what do I read? What do I watch on TV? Now, there are things that I enjoy that may be not stressful, but, I love the mystery type things, but sometimes they can be over the top. So it's about listening to what feels good. And the bottom line is that's it. What is happening in your life? What feels good? Want more of that and less of what doesn't. Staying in that positive space. So we have Mercury retrograde on Tuesday, October 13th. It will go direct on November 3rd. On October 27th, as it retrogrades back, it really doesn't, but it gives that appearance in the sky. On October 27th is when it goes into Libra. On November 3rd, Election Day, is when it goes direct in Libra, the sign of balance, the sign of justice, the sign of fairness. So this will be interesting in how we as a nation and individuals interpret that. By November 20th, it moves out of its shadow. The Mercury shadow it goes retrograde at 11 degrees of Scorpio this Tuesday. So as it moves backwards, finishing up in Scorpio, going back into Libra, it then moves direct and starts coming forward. It does not move past 11 degrees of Scorpio until November 20th. Now, that doesn't mean that it's still like having Mercury retrograde. No, not at all. It's just whatever has been showing up for you to work on, when it goes direct, then gives you the opportunity to really clear that out and get it all settled by the time it leaves on November 20th and out of its shadow. So if you are in Aries sun sign in a solar chart, this rules your 8th house. The 8th house is mainly the house of transformation for me. That's how I view it. But it's also the house of other people's money, inheritances, taxes, all of those types of other people's money, that sort of relationship. So those things can be coming up for you. Maybe a bill that you hadn't expected, maybe money coming into you that you hadn't expected. And from there, it moves back into your 7th house. This is Aries sun sign or Aries rising, which is relationships. So you have another opportunity to look at some unsettled questions that you may have had in relationships. So that really gives you that chance to solidify that. And again, once Mercury moves out of its shadow on November 20th, back into your house of transformation, you are really going to feel a big sigh of relief. That, oh my gosh, this finished. I'm so glad to have this done. It's so wonderful to not have this anymore. So that's what's really great about feeling that. So it's really beautiful. If you are in Taurus, the Mercury is currently in your house of relationships and moving retrograde. And it goes back into your 6th. Now, I've already spoken about the 7th house with Scorpio, so that will apply to you also, because it's also taking a look at some financial aspects with your relationships when it's there, because the house of relationships in the 7th house is not just about a spouse or a romantic relationship. It's any committed relationship, and it also includes any legal activities or contract signing, that type of thing. So that's something to really be careful of while Mercury is retrograde for you, Taurus, in the 7th house. When it goes back into your 6th, you'll be taking a look at your everyday work activities. What are the different things, patterns, routines that you have that are becoming a bit overwhelming right now? They're feeling like, I don't think I can do this anymore. It's like, I cannot juggle this. I can't keep trying to do this balancing act because it's not working. You're going to be able to see what you need to streamline and what you need to clear, and or combine the activities, or ask for help, because that's what Mercury is communication. The 6th house is also about health. So some health issues may come up, minor ones at this, but they may come up. So, hey, Elisa, I'm so glad you're here. And Veronica, yay. So the 6th house again is work and service, daily routines, and health. So again, I'm not feeling major health issues coming up. It's like me. Look, I've got my Band-Aid because I was at my annual visit to the dermatologist, so I've got my little whatever's he had to do, and that kind of thing. So it'll involve that as well. Now for Gemini, it's starting out in your 6th house. So everything that I just said now about work and service and health issues applies, but it applies in a different way because this is an air sign, and Mercury is communication, and Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So you're going to get a lot of communication within your everyday activities, and it can be as simple as whoever takes, let's say you have a lawn care service or someone that mows your lawn or the kid down the street, it doesn't really matter. Maybe they can't show up because some other things are happening. Or maybe there's a mix-up in what the payment is for something that involves assistance or help that you have around your home. Just the minor things that happen like that. But it's, again, a communication thing because Gemini, you are ruled by Mercury, and then Mercury retrograde in your sign. It will then move back into Libra, and for Gemini, air, sun sign or rising sign, it moves back into your 5th house on October 27th. And at that time, the 5th house is the fun house. That's vacations and romance and children and creativity. And I'm feeling that because you are an air sign, because you are ruled by Mercury, I'm feeling more the creative side of this. That means, again, the ideas, the mind, whatever. You may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed because your mind goes. Gemini, you are always with ideas. You love being in groups. You love communication. And there will be some mix-ups with that. And I'm feeling that the creative aspect of what you do as a person, as a job, as a career, as a business, there will be some glitches in there. Take your time with communication. Take your time with following through on whatever has to be done. If you're making any plans for a weekend getaway in a safe place, because we're all being careful now about where we are traveling, if we're traveling, just double check what your arrangements are and who you're talking to and who you're dealing with, because this can also be affected. Again, on October 27th, Mercury will be back into the 5th house for you. Now, Cancer, it starts out in the 5th house. Now, some of those things that I said for Gemini, when Mercury's in the 5th house, apply, but not all, because Gemini is an air sign ruled by Mercury, so there's a greater impact of things that could possibly happen. All of this discussion today is about laying the groundwork, the foundation to be prepared, to look for things ahead of time. to pre-pave, if you will, so smooth the road before any activity really happens, so that you can just be aware of how it's happening, be aware of the possibility. And it's not about anticipating bad, it's anticipating good. It's pre-paving, it's looking for how this activity, how this journey, how this whatever it is that you're planning on doing is going to go well. List all the positive aspects, if you will. Okay, this is really going, I know when I get in the car, my car is going to start immediately. And I have an easy flow in traffic to get to wherever I'm going. When I meet with this person, when I go into, let's say it's the doctor's office, if it has to do with health, which we've already talked about for the 6th house. If I go into the office, I am easily accepted with the social distancing, and I have cleared all my paperwork ahead of time, and they have it, and they have let me know that. Well, however it is that you can plan it in your mind, and of course this is also applies to whether Mercury is retrograde or not. So Leslie, these are for both. This is the sun sign, and if you know your rising sign, you can listen to both. So for me, I'm a Leo sun and a Leo rising, so that would just be Leo for me. But if you are a Libra sun with a Scorpio rising or an Aries rising or whatever it happens to be, then you would listen to both. So that's how that applies. Hey, Rita, yay. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much. So for Cancer, with Mercury retrograde in the 5th house, you are looking forward to how you are making those aspects of creativity and children and fun times and romance and in a loving, wonderful space. So this means that you are a water sign, you are ruled by the moon, and you love family and gatherings and having everybody feel like they are welcome, they are embraced, they are loved. Even if you're not physically hugging them, they know when they are in your presence that they are very comfortable and comforted. So as it moves into the 5th house, you may be making some arrangements or plans with your family for some reasons or whatever that happens to be, and either your physical home or the home of you, because that's also the same thing for the 4th house. And the plans may be going awry. Double check them. Just make sure that it's all good. Make sure that everything is happening. And then when it moves back into the 4th house, which is what you rule, Cancer, there could be some things happening at home. The refrigerator, the washer, some of the other appliances. I know one of the things that happened to me last January was that my water heater, which is in a lower level storeroom that I have, the pipe burst and I had spray all over the place. The cancer aspect was involved in that because it was my home. So just be mindful of what things are going on. And a lot of things that are happening, especially for appliances, is that since we are home more, we're using them more. We're more aware of what is happening. And I actually saw a little news item about the fact that now is about the time that a lot of these appliances, cars, whatever, go on sale for the end of the season leading into 2021. So this may be a good time to take a look, but I would suggest that if you are doing something for your home, that you would wait until Mercury goes direct. It doesn't have to leave its shadow, but you should be looking around, getting the best deal, thinking about it, maybe making a decision, but not actually making that purchase between October 13th and November 3rd. So that, whatever happens will happen, and you have to make that decision on your own. And I know for me, it's been my experience that when I said, I am setting this intention, I know it's going to be fine, I have to make this purchase now, and Sometimes, most of the time, I always, maybe not major problems, but I did have issues with it. So I just feel that it's just a cautionary thing to not make that kind of big purchase, especially Cancer, with it being in your fourth house from November 27th until it moves out of its shadow. So, well, until it goes direct on November 3rd. For Leo, it is in your fourth house. That's where it starts. So Scorpio, being a water sign, you are family oriented. You care about the children and the people around you, and you are a positive energy and enthusiastic. But there may be some things that need a second look at too, just like I mentioned for Cancer. And it could be some appliances, it could be some repairs, that some of it may be already there that you just haven't worked on, and it may be the time to go back and fix it, whatever that happens to be. I know for me, my yard is overgrown, and that's one of the things that we're working on now, and that's not happening until next week. I could not get the plans in place. Will it get done? Yes. Is it time for it to be done? Yes. It works out perfectly in that way, so it's great. Hey, Candy, yay. So then it moves back into your third house of communication, of Libra. So that's, again, Libra, air sign, Mercury, air sign. It's definitely the communication, short-term travel. So just take a look at it. If you are making still going to another location for work or clients or whatever, plan a little extra time when you leave. Make sure that maybe your normal travel time was 25 or 30 minutes. Just tack on 5 extra minutes. Things are happening now, and it's okay. It's just not to create bad things happening. It's to be sure that you are easing your way through life. 5 minutes extra to get this done. Hey, I can do that. And traffic is easy, and I arrive in a much better frame of mind than if, and again, Mercury, a much better frame of mind than if I was rushing to get there. It moves, as I said, into the third house, and that is the house of communication for Leo. Now, for Virgo, it starts out in your third house. And I'm sensing from this, because Virgo is an earth sign, that you will be working on a different routines, different ways of communicating, and making sure that they are organized. If you have emails that have to go out, if you have just birthday cards that you want to send out, this is the time to buy them, get them all filled out in order and ready to go. Virgo, you like to be organized. This is giving you that opportunity, because one of the things that Virgo does not like is to have some plan disrupted. So if you know ahead of time what you are planning to do, and if you have emails to schedule or email communications, have them ready to go in your mind, know what you have to do, have them on a calendar, whatever that happens to be, so that you know what it is that you need to do. I know just last week I was supposed to have an email that was supposed to go out, and I didn't think about it until 5 o'clock this morning. And it was like, oh, dang, I forgot to do that. So it's going out tomorrow, and it will go out tomorrow. But for Virgo, it's really important that you have this, because you like that. You like that organization. You like knowing where everything is and what's happening. So that really works for you. Then it moves back in on October 27th to your second house, which is your possessions, what you value, and money. So Virgo, again, be organized with there may be some bill that comes up. There may be some unexpected expenses. Just know that that's a possibility. It may be also that you're receiving money that you had not expected, or you had been waiting on. Now it comes. So either way, Virgo, you're always going to have that organization and know that it's going to be okay. This is just making it easy and relaxed for you to go through life and preparing the road ahead, so that it all works out that way. We're not looking at, oh my God, this can go wrong, this can go wrong, this can go wrong. Oh my goodness. That mindset is creating it. So this is saying, I am creating an easy and relaxed day today. This is how I see it happening, and have it planned out ahead of time. For Virgo, that's really important. Now for Libra, this Mercury goes retrograde in your second house. The second house is what you value. It's money. Again, unexpected, and of course Mercury air sign rules thoughts, Libra air sign. So if you are Libra, there could be some unexpected expenses that turn up. There could be, because this is second house, again, it can also be the receiving of money. It doesn't have to be just the expenses of having to pay it. It's also about receiving. On October 27th, it moves back into your first house. This is the house of you. When it goes into the first house, yes, Wendy, life flows with ease and grace, and that's what we're creating by talking about this, not creating the opposite. So thank you so much for that confirmation of that thought. So that was great. The first house is the house of you. So Libra, air sign, Mercury, thoughts. You could be forgetful. You could feel a little bit foggy. That all the more reason to make sure that your schedule is solid. That you, like I said, Mercury wasn't even retrograde. For me, Mars retrograde in Aries is opposite my third house as a Leo rising, and I have 5 planets in Libra. So as Mercury retrogrades, it's managing to hit all of these, and some of them are so close together, it's like hitting them all at the same time. So there are moments it's like, what? So that's why 5 o'clock this morning, I am remembering that I forgot to send an email last week. So, which I was supposed to do on Thursday. So in the first house, if you're feeling a little foggy, just make sure that you really double check your schedule. Double check your communication. It's really important. And it's not so much about typographical errors or a misspelled word. It's the intention of the communication. Communication is so little, the percentage is so low in just the written word. That's why texting can be difficult, because it's all about how you sound, the intonation. It's people being able to look you in the eye. That's why Zoom has been so great, even if we haven't been able to have one-on-one in-person communication. It's body language. It's all of that physical part. It's not really the words that carry the weight of communication. So double check all of that, especially since we do a lot of texting and emails now. Now, Scorpio, this is your first house. So again, the fogginess. Again, this may also be having you think about the past, Scorpio. It could be having you dig deeper to think about some of the things from the past and how they impact you. The most important thing, and Scorpio is such an intense sign, the most intense sign of the zodiac. The most important thing is that you recognize that all our power is in the now. Wherever we create, whatever we do, it's in the now. It's not in the past. It's not in the future. Any events from the past really have no significance today unless we dwell on it, unless we really focus on it. To create, we do it in the present moment. And the present moment is powerful. And that is your place of power, this present moment. So if you can refer to that place, if you can come back to that place that says, that is what happened. I might be embarrassed. I might feel some shame or guilt, but it's over and it's done. I'm good today. and that's what really matters. So there may be some people that come back into your life. I feel that with Mercury retrograde in the first house for you, Scorpio, there just could be simple messages from the past. People checking in with you that you haven't heard from in a long time. And it could be very positive. It doesn't have to be a negative. It could be that people are saying, now that they're home more, oh, I haven't heard from that person in a while. Maybe your name came across their awareness, whether on a social media platform or whatever, and they're thinking, I haven't talked to them in a long time. Let me reach out. So it could be as simple as that. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Then for Scorpio, it goes back into your 12th house, which is the unconscious mind. It's solitude. It's looking inward. And it can be about institutions as well, like hospitalization and such. So I'm feeling more that this is kind of like the follow-up to the first house. So when it retrogrades back into your 12th house, Scorpio, you're going to be feeling an even deeper need to take a look at things. Again, be easy on yourself. If you feel there's clarity in that, not beating yourself up, then it's of value. But if you're going back deep inside to beat yourself up about the past, then it's not worth it. That's not the place to be. The place to be is in the present and using the thoughts of how magnificent you are. Because we all are, of course. We're all magnificent. So for Sagittarius, it begins in your 12th house. Now you're a fire sign. So this is you may feel some restraint with Mercury retrograde. It's because you love being out there and you love being with people and you love getting out and about and going all over and caring for others and just having a good time. Sagittarius rules the 9th house, which is the house of the higher mind. So you're thinking about travel, you're thinking about learning new things. Whatever that happens to be, you may be feeling some restraint on this. And that's okay, because that will improve, that will get better, and you will get better. You will be fine. Now, when it retrogrades back into Libra, it will be in your 11th house. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, which is also an air sign. And here we are in Libra, another air sign. So you're in your element. But there may be some miscommunications within your social groups, your friends, your gatherings of any kind. So just make sure that all communication is clear. If you're making arrangements for a group setting, whether it be on Zoom or socially distancing at someone's home or backyard or park or whatever, make sure that everybody knows and they're all on the same page, what the time is, what the event is, what's supposed to happen. So if you are organizing any of these things, or even for yourself, if you're participating in something like this, make sure that you have all the facts, make sure that you have all the information. If you need to double check. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's really a good thing, because you're a fire sign. You want to be out there because you're excited and passionate about what you do, and it's something that you love. So it can be very aggravating to you to then not be able to have it go smoothly. So just double check. That's exactly what Mercury is about. It's reviewing, it's renewing, it's just taking a look at reevaluating, whatever is all of those RE words that we have. That's what's important. Now, Capricorn, it will be in your 11th house. Again, the same as I said for Sagittarius. Make sure that you've got all the ducks in a row. You have all the plans that you need. It's all about the groups. And this does not necessarily apply to social media, because that would be more in the communication sector. So for Capricorn, it is about keeping it all straight, making sure that you're all on the same page. The plans are in order. You want to be successful. Capricorn rules the 10th house of the zodiac, which is about career and accomplishment and ambition, and success. So you like it when everything goes well. It will then go back into your 10th house, which is what you rule. Plans that you have for your career or business, things that you have in the works are going to slow down. And it could feel a little frustrating for you, but see them all completed, and have that vision in your mind, see it all completed, see it all working out for your highest good and the highest good of all, and hold that vision. But it won't be happening exactly when you want it to. And so that's the one thing to understand, and that's okay. Aquarius, another air sign, and this again starts in your 10th house. Scorpio rules your 10th house if you have Aquarius rising or sun sign. Air sign, Mercury, thoughts. So again, should double check communication with work, with your career, with your job, making sure that all of those are done. You are also such a gregarious side because Aquarius rules the 11th house of the zodiac, which is about community and social groups and new ideas and unique ideas, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So you love being out there doing all those things. Maybe your ideas aren't fully received. Maybe your ideas aren't flowing as much as you would like them to be. So just be patient with that, breathe, settle in, meditate. That would be the best thing for you. It works for all of us, but especially so that you can get clear on your thoughts. It's really important for you to understand that part of life and knowing what's happening there. It will then go back into your 9th house, which is the house of long distance travel. Hey, Jackie. The house of long distance travel. It's about the higher mind. It's about higher learning. It's your philosophy of life. Aquarius, air sign. You're unique. You're creative. You're not the run of the mill that, you don't follow the same path as everybody else does. You like a different path. You may be stymied again, as mentioned in the 10th house, because they are related in that way for you, to get your ideas out there, to have a plan in place and want to go somewhere but are stymied by whatever. Just hold those places in your mind. Hold your plan in your mind. Make sure that it's right there for you, and it will be. It will be. I guarantee it. But the longer you sit with it, the longer you make it yours, by the time Mercury goes direct, you're going to see all that fall right into place. Pisces, it starts in your 9th house, and this is the house of the higher mind. Your intuition is really out there. Now, Mercury retrograde can make it a little wobbly. What do I mean by that? It's just that haze, that veil that lets you see clearly may be a little thicker than usual. So for both being in the 9th house and as it retrogrades back into the 8th house for you Pisces, you may be, what I'm feeling from this is you may be feeling or having thoughts, especially in the 8th house, in the house of transformation. You may be having thoughts about yourself and who you came here to be, or going deep inside for inner transformation, and you may have some negative thoughts about who you are. Know that those are not real. Your intuitive connection may not be as on target as it normally is. So just know that that's just in passing. Affirm and confirm inwardly who you know you really are. That's what's important. You know the type of person that you are. You know that you are caring, Pisces, please, caring, loving, intuitive individual. You like to see everybody safe and happy and well. You are a very loving, giving person, and know that that's exactly who you are. And because you are so intuitive, the other thing may be that you're feeling overwhelmed by getting a lot of information, by receiving it, if you are highly empathic. And if that is happening to you, just breathe in who you are. Breathe in who you are and know that all the rest of it doesn't belong to you. That's important, is understanding what is really yours and what is what you are sensing from around you. And there's a lot going on here. I mean, our just within our community and within our nation, there's a lot of polarization. There's a lot of anger. And know that all of that is not yours. It's some of what you are feeling, but it doesn't have to belong to you. And in any case, it doesn't have to belong to you. Yes, exactly, Kelly. And Pisces are empathic and intuitive. So it's really important to not accept a lot that you're feeling from the outside. And that may be happening more. And you may misconstrue some of the messages that you're receiving. So know that, hey, Mercury's retrograde. It goes retrograde in Scorpio. It goes back into Libra, goes direct on November 3rd, election day, and then leaves and its shadow by November 20th. It's really important to know what is real and what isn't. What is real and what isn't. Because that may be some of the questions that are coming up. Whether it's instances from the past, communication that you receive, people speaking to you in a certain way, whatever that happens to be, know who you are and breathe that in, rather than losing, we all can have that little trigger that can set us off. And that can happen more so now because Mercury is going retrograde in Scorpio. So just hold the truth of who you really are, and that's what's important. Within that thought of holding the truth of who we truly are, and that's good for all of us, not just for Pisces, I'm going to shuffle the cards, and we have 4 cards for today. So I want to get those out. And I'm using my Halloween cards because I get to use my Halloween cards. Yes. Life may flow with ease and grace, but the picture is frozen. Okay, Catherine, that was a good one. That was a good one. That's quotable. That's a quotable quote for sure. Okay, dividing the cards, and I'm starting with Angie. And by the way, just as a reminder that can you trust yourself and your choices is the reading for this month. And that's on special, half an hour reading, only $49. The link is in the comments. That may be a question that comes up for you. And so that reading can help you really focus on how you trust. And Jackie has affirmed also, hold the truth of who I am. And that's really, I would think, what really is important, not just for this Mercury retrograde, but anytime. Okay, here we go, Ange. Okay, Angie, and you're going to fully understand this card because we were just chatting yesterday. This is the Tower card. That means that things can feel like they're falling apart. Things can feel like they're a total disaster. The way that you normally saw life and the way that it was normally planned for you, and how, whether it be the people around you or plans around you, whatever that happens to be, the most important part of this, and then we've got Mercury going retrograde, the most important part of this is knowing that everything changes at some point. And right now, it just feels like it's all changing. It's all falling apart. Those things that are important to you are changing. Change is part of life. That's such a trite comment, but it's really true in this one. It is the ebb and flow of life. And it always, and it has been my experience after all my years and a lot of events happening in my life, that it always works out for the highest good. It's focusing on the good. Focusing on the good. Yes, change is growth. exactly. This card just emphasizes that it feels like, oh my God, big kabooms are happening, because this is the Uranus card. So it is, if it's happening, which it is, there is a peaceful ebb and flow that I want you to hold on to. You being, the empath that you are, that peaceful ebb and flow, hold on to that, because that's going to sustain you. And the fact that you're Angie, that's going to sustain you as well, because yes, change is growth, and it is the only constant that we have, like Ruth said. So yes, we're holding you in love and light with that one. Okay, Catherine. Oh, this is nice. And this is perfect. This is the Two of Ghosts. And of course, ghosts represents cups and emotion and feeling. You are so full of love today. Of course, it can be a romantic card as well in romantic love. But it's also about unification of love. And knowing the plans that you have for today and all that you've been working on to make your event today super special for everybody coming, then that's just says all is perfect, because you are operating and coming from a place of pure, heartfelt, boundless love. And those of you that were on Tarot Flow yesterday will fully recognize that that's our next oil that we're getting from Tarot Flow event, which was absolutely fantastic. And somehow I did not post that in the comments. So Angie, if you would post the Tarot Flow link for people to look at, that would be great, because it has been updated. This is so perfect. And Catherine, we all feel the love. We all feel the love. That is beautiful. Okay, Vanetta. And then Wendy. I love these Halloween cards. Aren't they really cute? And they give the message in a loving way, but just using Halloween images. Okay, Vanetta, this is for you. Okay, this is the Six of Bats. Bats represents the air sign. And it is about being on the journey. It's about allowing. It's about allowing. I really want you to hear this, Vanetta. It's okay to ask for help. You do not have to do everything all by yourself, whether you delegate or you ask for assistance in whatever is happening in your life. Just allow the flow. This is about seeing and going inward, because again, it's bats, it's air sign, and it's about how we think about this. So this is about allowing, just stepping back, being still, going slow, because Mercury retrograde is going to make you do that anyway, and enjoying the journey and the process. Enjoying the journey and the process. But because here you are here, this represents you, and this is the person that's helping you along the journey. Allow that. You are not alone. You are not alone. There are people that want to assist you and help you in any way as possible. So let that happen. It's okay to sit back and allow. Yes, sit back and allow. Okay, and Wendy. So Angie, you posted the link for Tarot Flow. Thank you, because it has been updated for the November 12th at 7 p.m. Yesterday we had it at 10 o'clock in the morning, so we're going to be alternating Tarot Flow. And it's really exciting because we do this with the cards. I do this part. And then the bonus is that Angie listens to the full reading and what each person, the reading that they get. and determines the oils that meet that reading. So we then get our first oil selection and blend that Angie did was the pea picking blend. And that was our inaugural meeting, and we had a great time on that Zoom call. So this last one, because of the messages and that were coming through, it was heartfelt, boundless love. And that's the blend that we're getting in. And Angie sends us all the oils, so it's really wonderful and perfect. So if you haven't done it before, you will love it. You will love it. Okay, here we go. Okay, the 5 of Pumpkins. All right, this is Wendy's. This is the 5 of Pentacles. This is about just having a good time. Now, normally, the 5 of Pentacles in the traditional deck is called the poverty card. This is not the representation here, and that's why I really love it. Yes, it's being on the journey, and yes, it's change. This is feeling the shift from the way that you were doing things and perceiving the abundance that's in your life, and abundance is at all levels, to how you're perceiving it now. In the traditional 5 of Pentacles card, it shows a couple that appears in poverty, and all they have to do is look up, and that's what this card is saying. So, and especially with Mercury retrograde, Wendy, just being patient and knowing that here, if you just look up instead of down, if you look up, that's where all the answers are. That's where all the abundance is. And that's where all the protection, the love, the joy, the everything. So if you're feeling a little down at the moment, which is what I'm sort of sensing, not that you're ever really down, Wendy, but if you are feeling that, know that you are so protected and so guided. And sometimes it just doesn't feel like that. But yes, it's a yes, opening the door. Yes. So if one closed and one, or a couple of closed, there's another one to open and another window to open and another place to go. I'm feeling transition here. That's the word that I'm feeling, is that that you had a message this week that made it very evident of this transition. Whether it exactly, trust the process and knowing that everything is working out for your greatest good. Exactly, Jackie. But I'm feeling, because I know the joyful aspect of you, that it was either a message of confirmation or invitation, whatever it was, to acknowledge that you're on the right path to keep going wherever you're going. And it's a transition, so it's leaving something behind to move into something else. So I'm hoping that makes sense, because I'm trying to put into words exactly what I am receiving here. Okay, transition. All right, because that's the word that kept coming to me, and that's what I kept feeling, and I know you trust. I know you trust. It's just that sometimes we like to see it over and done with and arrive at our destination faster. Our current destination, whatever that happens to be. Hey, Brenda. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad. So excited for you. That is so wonderful. So great. I want to thank you for today. Next week, we're going to be talking about how the full moon at the end of the month, it will affect your finances. And if time allows, what I'd love to do is a financial abundance tarot reading, because I really love doing that. And I have the special Muka deck that I use for that, Muka being the artist, a contemporary of Verte. So I really love that deck. Again, Mercury is retrograde starting Tuesday in Scorpio, moves back into Libra October 27th. Thank you. and then goes direct on November 3rd and leaves its shadow on November 20th. This is nothing to be afraid of. It's navigating the positive aspects that it gives us. There's always a good message. There's always a good place to be. Right. There you go. There you go. There's always something better. It just may not feel like it at the time, but hold that thought, because it will get better and it will be wonderful. I want to thank you again for being here. I love you so much, and I so appreciate your allowing me to do this. And have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday. I'm going to be leaving soon to have fun with Catherine and Ruth. And we're just, the Dancing Divas are celebrating today. Social distance celebrating. And Catherine's even having her mother there too, because we're celebrating Catherine's birthday for Tuesday when Mercury goes retrograde. I love you. Thank you so much. And have a wonderful Sunday. And remember, joy has your name on it. Bye now.